Civil rights attorney Ben Crump tweeting, "This is unacceptable," and she grossly tried to weaponize her tears to paint this man as a threat. No one answered at the woman's Brooklyn apartment or returned our...
Why would you? Why would you?
This is why this sort of race baiting that the media does is so pernicious. It's literally convincing people, both white and black people, that we live in this super racist society, and then it's just a bunch of white people running around looking to, you know,
take advantage of black people. Yeah, exactly.
We do not know what happened before the recording began at this city bike stand near East 30th and 1st Avenue, but many are blasting the hospital worker, a physician's assistant who NYC Health and Hospitals Bellevue say appears to work for them.
Did you see that other kid just sitting on the other bike?
Yes.
Just sitting there?
He's just sitting there. Yeah.
Just sitting on the other bike.
I don't think he rented it. I think he's just sitting there.
The city hospital group saying
that's another thing that's interesting too, is because there's a group of these 5 guys, right?
Yeah.
Like, are they all renting different bikes, or is this one guy just renting one bike? Like, what exactly is happening in this situation?
Wouldn't it be great if the news media actually dug in on stuff like this?
They don't care.
All they care is the race narrative. They're like,
yes.
Oh shit, this goes against the race narrative. Stop digging. Stop looking.
Yep. That's exactly what happens. Yes.
Yeah.
We're sorry this happened and are reviewing the incident. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump tweeting, "This is unacceptable," and she grossly tried to weaponize her tears to paint this man as a threat.
Don't you love this? NBC, they just play like, oh, look, it's Ben Crump, well-known race grifter, right? Let's just blast his tweet out here.
Exactly. Let's make it a national news story.
Yes. Ben Crump says, "This is unacceptable. A white woman was caught on camera attempting to steal a city bike from a young black man in New York City." And here's what's interesting. He's using the official AP rules of grammar. He does not capitalize white woman, but he capitalizes black man.
Yes.
Which is very strange. She grossly tried to weaponize her tears to paint this man as a threat. This is exactly the type of behavior that has endangered so many black men in the past.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is exactly the type of behavior that has endangered so many black men in the past. No one answered at the woman's Brooklyn apartment or returned our...
Why would you? Why would you? Why would you answer that door? NBC News?
Oh, my God.
Fuck off. Fuck off already.
Calls for comment. This woman lives in her building.
That woman lives in this building with me?
So, okay, wait. NBC is insane. They go to her building. They knock on her door. They show what the building looks like.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. They show the exterior of the building. Yeah. They're fully doxing
This was on the
her.
national news too. Yes. And then these utter pieces of shit, these fucking scumbags at NBC hang around outside of her apartment and they're like, "Oh, do you live here? Do you know that this person lives in the building with you?" Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're trying to turn her neighbors against her. This is a full-on lynch mob here.
This is insane.
They're ready to pull her out in the street and let people take punches at her.
I can imagine like the NBC people are just standing outside. They're like, "Oh, a black person's coming up. Oh, hey, you're black. Do you live in this building? Do you know there's a racist living here? Like, here's a video. Go watch it."
I hope they sue the shit out of them for this report. This news broadcast.
Well, here's the problem. I agree. I don't like, as fucking despicable as this is, I don't know if it's actually illegal to do this. It's kind of like weird harassment.
Look, that isn't it a false statement of fact? That's a level for defamation. She did not try to steal a bike.
Right. Well, they say appears to, allegedly, like they say all this sort of.
Okay.
We're just reporting what other people are reporting.
The weasel words.
Yeah, but I meant specifically this action of going to her place and just talking to people that like walk in and out of the building and saying, "Do you know that like a racist lives here?" Like, so it's like that should be illegal. That's insane to me. This is the most insane shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Another neighbor who knows the woman in the video told us off camera he believes the incident is being blown out of proportion.
The guy who knows her is like, "Don't catch me up in this shit, in your bullshit here." Smart fella.
Yes, and they don't Well, here's the interesting. After this, we'll watch the ABC interview, and they do play someone who's black and is a neighbor who defends her.
Nice.
And I'm wondering if it's the same person, and maybe he realized after the ABC thing that he shouldn't go on camera because he's gonna get like death threats and shit.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
So he defends her first, and then the next news broadcast shows up, and he's like, "Wow, I'm not doing that again. I've already got like 6 death threats."
Right? Because apparently this lady, supposedly people were taking pictures of her front door and like threatening her, like, "Oh, you know, I'm gonna come for you," or "I know where you live," or something. So
yeah.
But this neighbor says the young men could have ended up in jail or worse.
It's clearly like a Karen, a Central Park Karen.
She's referring to the Central Park incident where a woman walking her dog called 911 on a black bird watcher.
She thinks that she's viewed.
You know, it's so wild how many people regarding this situation have cited the #1 Karen race hoax situation, which is the Central Park situation.
Yep. Yeah.
Which was, you know, if you guys don't remember, there was a white lady who had a dog, and there's a black guy there, and she's afraid that the black guy is going to attack her or her dog, and so she's like grabbing the dog by the collar, and the dog, you know, obviously doesn't look comfortable, and she's like freaking out, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, you know, this woman is super racist." This woman, by the way, her like life was destroyed. She had the dog taken away, she lost her job, and she didn't get it back. And I believe she actually left the country.
Wow. That sucks.
And then it turned out that she was justified to be afraid because the guy who was a bird watcher and he was mad about, you know, having the dogs scare away the birds or attack birds or whatever. He decided that he was going to do this weird thing where when there were people with dogs in the park, he was going to like give them dog treats to lure them over to show the people like that they didn't have control of their dog or something really fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
And though obviously the woman doesn't know this, so the woman is talking to this guy. The guy's like, "Oh, you're not supposed to have your dog here." You know, he's trying to tell her to leave. And then he pulls out dog treats and he says to her, "You're not going to like what's about to happen next."
Oh my God.
And then he tries to call the dog over. Okay. And it's like, what fucking world? Someone says that to you, says, "You're not going to like what's going to happen next," after they express, you know, not liking your dog and the location it is, and they try to call your dog over. What the fuck do you think is going to happen?
You're going to be assaulted.
Yeah, he's going to like, or he's going to like fuck up your dog or something, or he's going to steal your dog or attack your dog or something. Like, that's the weirdest fucking statement. And by the way, he admits to saying those words. It's not like a he said, she said thing. He admits that that's what he said. It's like, that's the most fucking crazy shit to tell someone. Like, what the hell? And this woman who was justifiably afraid. Now, obviously, like, you know, she's in full-blown panic mode, which, you know, that's not a good place to be. But she's justifiably afraid of this guy because he said that weird phrase. You know, even though he didn't mean it, he's some, like, you know, he wasn't like, you know, he's like some like teacher or something at a college. But she doesn't know any of this information. She doesn't know anything about this stranger. She gets her whole life destroyed. And the problem is, and this is why you always have to fight back. The problem is, this woman didn't fight back. She didn't go and start suing all these media organizations and suing all these people that were defaming her. Right. And so the lie and the myth of the Central Park Karen lives on.
Yeah, it's sad. There's so many of these race hoaxes that are complete myth.
Mm-hmm.
Them because she's white, and she thinks that's obvious in this America that we all live in.
And the NYPD said
that woman still believes Jussie Smollett is innocent. So,
well, this is why this sort of race baiting that the media does is so pernicious. It's like, it's literally convincing people, both white and black people, that we live in this super racist society, and that it's just a bunch of white people running around looking to, you know,
take advantage of black people. Yeah, exactly. Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.